Hi guys, it's Danny. Today we're gonna do some maintenance on some of my orchids that have an ill leaf or an ill new growth, pseudobulb, whatever. So if you have similar cases, I'll show you how I would go about them. Maybe it will help you in the future. Okay, before we start, let me show you what I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use a scissors, a cutter, you can use a knife or an X-Acto knife, some alcohol to sterilize it, and also cinnamon, because cinnamon is very useful around orchids. Now before starting to do anything, it's a good idea to sterilize all your cutting tools, particularly if you've worked with them with other plants or other orchids. I sterilize my tools with alcohol and sometimes I even torch them. But today I think I'm gonna use just alcohol, and to be extra safe, I'm gonna torch them a little bit as well, particularly on the blade. So the first case we have is an orchid that has a rotten growth. You might have seen this one in my previous video in which I talked about homemade insecticides. So practically what happened was that water got left trapped in this new growth and sadly it rotted the growth. But now it's time to remove it. So in this case I will actually use my cutter because it is very sharp and very thin, and I will actually cut this new growth at the base where it meets the mother pseudobulb. If you cannot really cut it, you can actually pull on it just a little, so you have some room. Okay, so I cut away the new growth, and as you can see, I'm left with a pretty big wound here, which can actually get infected, since it is very close to the top of the media. Now to seal it off, I'm actually gonna use cinnamon. So I have here some cinnamon powder on a Q-tip, and what I'm gonna do is go right into this growth and apply cinnamon dust on this wound. So as you can see, the wound is covered with cinnamon now, and this will actually not get infected further. And this is about it for this particular orchid. Okay, next we have a case of yellow pseudobulb on an oncidium orchid. Now this is not rot or anything. Sometimes old growths start to deplete and actually go yellow and pretty much die. So at this point you are safe to remove the yellow pseudobulb. But in this case, I don't need to cut anything. All I need to do is twist the pseudobulb, like so. And after a few twists, the pseudobulb comes out on its own. At this point, you can actually apply a little bit of cinnamon right where the pseudobulb came off. Don't use the same end that you used with the other orchid. Use a clean Q-tip or the other end of the Q-tip. When dealing with cinnamon, try to not go overboard. Just apply cinnamon only on the spot that you need to disinfect and keep dry. And this is about it for this orchid. Here we have another case of a pseudobulb that is very old and is depleted. And we have this case of a Cattleyas right here. The Cattleyas itself is really healthy and nice, but the old pseudobulb is simply depleted. Now for this one, I will actually use the scissors. Cattleyas pseudobulbs usually cannot be twisted. Oncidiums and intergeneric usually work like that. So for this one, I have my scissors, which is sterilized. Also, in between orchids, I did wash my hands. So what I'm gonna do is go in and try to make a clean cut. Now sometimes they can be a bit reluctant, so you will need to use both your hands, but eventually the pseudobulb will come off. And there you go, this is the old pseudobulb. It was not rotten, it went yellow, and actually right now it's almost dry. Now since the pseudobulb that I just removed was still a little bit moist, I will apply a little bit of cinnamon on the cut wound as well. If you are removing a dried pseudobulb, you really don't need cinnamon because it is dry, it is not humid, so it will not actually infect. There is no live tissue anymore to get infected. Now in this case we need to remove a leaf. Now usually leaves go yellow and drop on their own, but if it looks very bad, you can actually cut it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sterilize my scissors with alcohol as best as I can, and I will go ahead and cut this leaf from its base. Again, I will apply a little bit of cinnamon on the cut wound so I avoid any other reinfections. And this orchid is done. Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Hopefully it will help you in the future if you deal with cases similar to this. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and share it. If you'd like to see more videos from me, simply subscribe to my channel. I post it on a daily basis. Also, feel free to leave me any questions or suggestions for videos in the comment section below, and I will get back to you either with a comment or with a video. If you click on the left side of your screen, you'll be directed to orchidnature.com, where you will find care sheets, identification sheets, and also you can talk to us in the forum section. And on the right side of your screen, you can click to watch another orchid video. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next time. Bye!